Power on. Bluetooth pairing. Bluetooth connected.
Jeffrey, how's it going? Roberto Soto, how's it going? Tipo Animations. Well, thank you. I appreciate that very much. Fatime, hello. Roberto Soto. No, I do not speak Espanol. I wish I did, but I do not. Yeah, I'm listening to Big Trouble in Little China soundtrack and Drawing with Jaden. I don't have a name for this book exactly yet. I'm still debating on what exactly the title will be. Your only savior for doom scrolling. Yeah, I know how that goes. Steve, that's some new thing YouTube has done to, I don't know if it's whoever communicates the most gets a number one, and so on and so forth. I don't understand it. I was never given an explanation. It just showed up one day. So it might be like trying to help drive engagement. I don't know. Bomax Mind. I'm listening to the soundtrack to the movie Big Trouble in Little China. Yeah, Big Trouble is one of the greatest movies ever made. You're talking about rain didn't have anything special? Dude could fly. No, Steven, I left out the sword shooting laser blast. Because as I understand it, that laser blast originates from Shatterstar himself. He just channels it through the sword. And my ninja, my dickless ninja, he can't do energy projection like that. So Elijah Otway, how's it going? Egg, how's it going? What's crack-a-lackin'? Corey Sims, I got a lot of Wildstorm stuff. I just vary it up, so it's, you know, not all the same thing all the time. But I definitely don't have everything, so just depends. Steven, I don't think so. Not the way it was for them. Because comic books had a readership then. No one gives a shit anymore. I don't know what kind of crazy scenario would need to take place to have that happen. It'd be neat, but no one cares. Comics are kind of a dying art form in terms of the cultural relevancy. Everyone wants digital, everyone likes video games, everyone's got their face in a device of some type. People are going to start doing AI stuff. It's not the same world anymore. There will be a market for it, I think, all the time, but the way it ever was before, I mean, comics was like a disposable, relatively inexpensive means of entertainment for kids that was relatively cheap to make and print and produce. But kids don't care. The audience is grown-ass old men. You know, I'm speaking in broad generalities there. There's women, there's some youth market, but I don't see how it could, but I would like to see it happen. But I agree, I think it's the age of like independent creators stuff. We don't have to go through Marvel or DC anymore to get the entertainment we're interested in, because they're not making really relevant stuff on the level that they used to. So it's kind of like go online and support your favorite independent creator and throw them a few bones, buy their book, and maybe the future of it all. Champ. I thought that said Chump Champ. Champ. My comic is a story about a ninja who got his dick cut off by his ex-girlfriend and his mad dash to get it back. If you think I'm joking, there's the dick in the jar right there. And this is him getting it back. I get your point, Steven. I don't know. There needs to be an audience for it. That's the thing. And kids aren't interested in holding a physical comic book. Again, I'm speaking in broad generalities here. And I have no interest in making digital comics. So I don't know how to make that work. But there is an audience for this stuff. People are buying things. It's just, I don't know, the comics industry, it's like unique one-offs that actually do well. Anime is all the rage. Yeah, champ. Yeah, no, I'm not kidding. This is the girl who chopped it off. And then her and this girl were doing unspeakable things with the strangely still functioning severed dick that this guy could still feel hundreds of miles away. He was not happy with that. But he's finally caught up with them and gonna get his shit back. He's literally ripping it out of her hands in this panel down here that I'm doing right here. He's like, give me back my fucking dick. And again, I want to emphasize, not one word of what I said was an exaggeration or untrue. It's in this book. It's all drawn. A tree? Absolutely not. That will absolutely not happen. No way, no how. You want to know how I know? Because no one fucking cares about those movies on the level that they were caring about Marvel movies a couple of years ago, because Marvel squandered all their potential. And we're looking at like another DC Comics reboot. And so the audience is already dwindling and in a non-caring state. And back when like Marvel was just killing it, everyone said that the movies never moved the needle on the physical comics world. There's no movement. It doesn't affect it in any substantial way. There might be like a microscopic little movement for like one day, But everyone's always said that the movies never affect the comics really. And this new Fantastic Four is not going to do shit. You know, it's going to be lucky if it's even like kind of okay. And same thing with the Superman movie. I want it to be good, don't get me wrong. But Superman, Fantastic Four, they ain't touching shit. And it will not move nothing. I mean, if Avengers Endgame and Infinity War, like the most popular versions of all that stuff, didn't do anything, this already kind of iffy Fantastic Four and Superman movie are just like that. It's not gonna do a thing. And that's sad. It should work. It should get people interested. Well, champ, I am just basic. I've got all the art basically drawn. I'm just doing some touch-ups here. I've got an inker working on some pages, and I'm putting it together. I'm going to do a crowdfunder, so, I mean, you may or may not follow my channel, and this is, I swear this is not like a sales pitch to try to get you to follow my channel or anything, but if you're interested in it, I'll be announcing the crowdfunder when it's ready to go. You've always wanted to create your own. It's tricky, you know. It's quite the task to see it through to the end and follow through and make it, you know, make it what it needs to be. Especially hard if you can't draw, so you're looking for an artist and then you're trying to find somebody who can draw kind of good, but especially if you can't pay, then you're trying to find somebody to work for free, and then you get it all made, and then how do you get anybody to see it? You don't. So you try to build an online presence. That's hard. It sucks to have to do. But you only make comics if you love to do it. If somebody goes into this wanting to make comics to make money, you're in the wrong business. You're going to go about it wrong. People can spot a phony a mile away. If you make something that looks good, you want to do good, you hope you do good, I think you can do pretty good. Got to give 110%. Just got to want it more than they do. Let chips fall where they may. Yeah, Egg, it's different. Comics used to be sold everywhere. Drugstores, grocery stores, gas stations. Yeah, you're right. No one even sees them anymore. I don't understand the market that existed back in the day when they were just everywhere. It just doesn't work anyway. Panda, what's poppin', Panda? Yeah, kids had, yeah, and that's kind of what I was talking about earlier. Kids are not interested in comics when they got a phone in their hand and they got TikTok brain and Facebook fog brain and bullshit like that, and they just buried online all the time. And comics were a cheap, easy, quick, fun way to get entertainment into kids' hands that just worked. It's kind of almost like a avant-garde art form anymore. You have to do it because you love it, and it's still hard. Even if you're fantastic, it's hard to get noticed. I mean, I just watched a guy do a crowdfunder. He used to work for Image Comics back in the day. He drew a few Image Comics, and he put up a crowdfunder, and it was some beautiful, hyper detailed art. The concept looked badass, and he didn't even make it. He maybe made a third of his goal, and it sucks because it was amazing looking stuff. I contributed. I wanted his book, but you know, this incredible art from this guy who's fantastic, and he couldn't make a crowdfunder work. So I'm sitting here trying to think about doing one for myself for my Dickless Ninja book. And I'm like, I don't know if it's going to work, because who's going to care? But that's why I also spend a lot of time. Somebody pointed out that my model to release my book, they like, I like your art, your model for your releasing of your book. I'm like, what are you talking? I don't have a model. He's like, you're creating the book, you're doing it page by page online, building your audience through your YouTube channel, which I'm building up separately on its own anyway, so I have a built-in audience of sorts, and people get to watch you create it and get excited to see it. Yeah, Champ, I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about this other guy. Stephen Yanis, choose your own adventure. That stuff drives me nuts. I hate choose your own adventure books. I learned to hate them as a kid. They drove me nuts. Yeah, Panda, a quick trash medium to prestige bagged and boarded chromium. I don't know. I would actually suggest that kids can afford this. You see the amount of money people spend on gaming systems and different games and their devices. It's just that they don't want it. That's my opinion. I mean, it's all kind of just based on my own bullshit opinion, but I don't think it's a matter of affording. I mean, for some people, obviously it is, but I think it's the kids, the young audience, are not interested. They don't care. like that idea. Let's shut down social media. How about that? Yeah, I don't know what Marvel and DC are doing. Everything's written for the trade collection, which I get because the trade collection is big market, but a writer just can't get on a book and then just write it for several years and just do just single stories. Everything has to be written for a trade collection, and every story has to be like a big summer blockbuster movie event, so everything is just the biggest situation to ever happen to anybody ever. It's just the magic of just picking up a comic and just following along for years and just learning to love the characters. It's just done. Excuse me. What's up, De La Cruz? Okay, I think not pages. Just finishing up my stuff. See, Stephen, the thing is how to get people to read it and watch it and be aware of it. It's all about getting build up, creating a magazine per se. You got to have content, and so therefore you have to rely on people. And big names that draw attention already have gigs, and they don't need this thing that we would create. And so then you're going to rely on not paying anybody anything, but having people create content. And there are a bunch of amateurs who are not any good, that are not going to draw attention. People have tried that. People in good faith have tried to, like, we're going to create an online thing, and we're going to gather the greatest artists, and we're going to showcase everything, and it never works. You're lucky if you get people to actually show up and create. That's the biggest problem. People actually creating to completion. You know? So, Stephen, the story, we'll go through it. So, I'm not going to show the very, very, very R-rated sex page where the two girls are fucking the severed zombie dick. But they were done, so our hero, Dickless Ninja, he gets his shit together, and he's going to fight the big giant wolf hunter, the character, Red Coyote. So, they get in a battle. They're fighting. The Red Coyote, now I've established previously, he's running around, he doesn't wear clothes either, so his dick is hanging out. He's got a big old erect cock as he's fighting this guy. So Dickless Ninja, he's pissed off seeing that this guy's actually got a functioning dick, so as he jumps at him, chops it off. Slice. Goes flying through the air. And so Red Coyote's like, what the fuck? He screams in anger at him. He's like, I'm gonna fucking kill you for that. So then he grabs Dickless Ninja, and Dickless Ninja does the Shatterstar Ronin thing, stabbing him through the guts. You know, they get separated. Dickless Ninja grabs his other sword, plants it right in between the eyes of Red Coyote, dropping him dead. And so now Dickless Ninja and his other guy that's been there with him, he fought Red Coyote and got his ass trashed. So they're getting ready to teleport off to go track down finally his own severed dick. But Dickless Ninja, he's like, hey, this dick that I severed, I'm taking it with me. You never know, just in case. So he actually puts it around his neck like a trophy. And his buddy here's like, I don't want to be near that thing, get it away. And so he's gotten one around his neck that he chopped off of the villain that they were fighting. So then we get back with the girls, they're kind of hanging out, blah, blah, blah. And then that's when they teleport in. So yes, he's got one around his neck, but that's not his. He's after this one. Believe me, eventually he discards this other one. So there you go, Champ. And Stephen. Yeah, Panda, see, that's the thing. You know, you could be a person that maybe you can't draw, but you coordinate with people really well. You organize things. And so you start gathering talent. Hey, you want to be part of this? You want to be part of this? You want to be part of this? And people say, sure, that sounds awesome. And then days, weeks, months go by, and nobody makes a goddamn thing. I say this because I've been part of several of these things where I wasn't able to produce, or I did and no one else did. And that's why I got to a point where I said, fuck it. From now on, I'm only making my own shit for me, the way I want to do it, with no one telling me otherwise, no one stopping me, and no one holding me up but myself. And I'll just print up my own copies. I'll front the money for, like, Comics Wellspring has a 25 print run minimum. For a black and white comic, it's not very expensive. So I just start making my own shit. And honestly, it's the greatest thing I've ever done. Fuck this working with other people shit. Fuck that shit. No one follows through. Everyone's lazy, everyone's stupid, no one cares, no one fucking gives a shit. I've ran into 2 or 3, 4 people maybe that actually see their work through to completion. And but I'm not gonna hinge my success anymore or seeing my own ideas brought into life, waiting on somebody else to fucking make it happen for me. I'm done. I'm making my own shit. That's one of the reasons I started my own YouTube channel. I'm just making my own stuff, talking about my own stuff, and it's kind of working. I will never rely on anybody else ever again. Sorry, I've missed a bunch of things, so while I'm going on my little rant there. Yeah, it is hard to look online without finding AI nonsense. You have to be a skilled ninja not to have that necklace slap you in your own face while flipping around. Well, a lot of procrastinators, or, I mean, I don't know how to say this without sounding pretentious, because I don't work in any kind of professional capacity, but a lot of the places that I kind of joined up with a bunch of other people, most everyone else was not that good. But everyone was sitting around sucking each other's dicks, telling each other how good they are. And I get it, we're all trying to be positive, but I'm like, I'm putting all this effort in here, and the people that are holding me up, like, if I'm better than them, and that's kind of a rarity, you know, I'm not that great, but if I'm better than other people and I'm getting held up by them, I'm done. Like, I'm sick of putting in tons of effort on something that you're like, and I even was trying to tell like the editor of some of these things, like, guys, this stuff you're creating sucks. This is not good. No one's gonna give a shit, but they're so dead set on their own personal vision. I'm like, okay, off you go. Go make your own shit. I'm out. I'm done. I'm gonna go make my own stuff. I'm gonna do a comic book about a guy who gets his own cock severed. Yeah, Panda. Yeah, there you go. You were part of a crew of people working towards developing a bunch of comic IPs, and no one produced anything but you. Instead of putting in the work, they tried to attach themselves to your stuff. Exactly. Exactly. Everyone says they're going to do a thing. And I've said often, just like, all right, great, go make it. Come back when you have something to show me. Stop telling me what you're going to do. Show me what you've done. And even if, even if a person's not that great of an artist, just the fact that they see it through to completion speaks volumes about who they are. Rather see a completed, finished thing that's not the best drawn or written, but at least it's done. I can tell you how many people I've been around, they're like, oh man, this thing I'm going to make, it's going to be the coolest comic. 3 years later, hey, how far are you on that book? Oh, I kind of got held up. I've drawn about 3 pages. I'm like, oh, okay. I've made 6 graphic novels of a fan comic for fun. So that's Rob's rant. Like I said, I'm just a little bit sick of. I got done waiting for other people. Just make your own thing. Because you can legitimately get a little bit of traction through social media if you're consistent and you actually make something. You can't sit around and tell people forever, I'm going to do this, I've done this, I can do this, I can do that. I'm like, okay, where is this thing that you said you're going to make? Over and over and over. I'm sick of hearing about what you're going to do. Do something. Stop telling me. And I've seen other people who are really, really good artists that put me to shame easily. But they don't make anything. I've seen a lot of great artists. Like, one of the things that I stand out a little bit is, like, I've seen a lot of people call themselves comic book artists, but they never ever make a comic book. They just do comic book character drawings, pinups, and shit like that, and make commissions off that, and that's fine. But I'm like, you're not a comic book artist. You're like a comic book character illustrator. To me, there's a difference. A comic book artist is someone who actually makes comics. So, and yeah, and they don't even get hired to do just covers. They just draw. I've seen people on like Instagram with like 50,000 followers, and they're incredible artists, but all they do are single images. They're great. But they list themselves as a comic artist, and no, you're not. Show me a comic book that you've made. You haven't made one comic book, so there's a difference. Steven, would I do a grindhouse with someone who's, I mean, it depends. Because once again, not only am I just decided to just rely on myself, I don't like having to like ask anybody else, like, is this okay? Is that okay? I don't know. As I get older, you know, I'm 48. There's only so much time in the world, and these things take a long time to produce. So it would have to be a pretty amazing situation to make me stop doing what I'm doing to do some other thing in collaboration with someone else. Like, I just want to make my own shit. I've got too many ideas, and they're not all going to get made. And the longer I sit around and wait for anybody else is just another idea of my own that doesn't get to be wheeled into reality. So I'm just going to do my own shit from now on, you know. Yeah, Panda, yeah, right? Yeah, I'm a comic book artist. Yeah, what comic did you make? Nothing. What story did you tell? Do you know storytelling? Do you know, shot, reverse shot? Do you know how to do establishing shots? Can you tell a story clearly? You might be able to be the best artist who can draw the most badass Doctor Doom I've ever seen, and everyone's going to look at that before they look at my stuff, but you can't make a comic book. Yeah, we know too many of the same type of people. Yeah, it's just ridiculous. One of my best friends from high school, he just won't make a thing. He's in a constant state of development. I got to make it. I got to keep going. I'm almost there. I've got the ideas. All right. Well, guess what? We're in our late 40s, and you've been saying this since we were 16 years old. Like, I'm done listening to what you're going to do. He's this incredible artist. I'm like, I'm done hearing it, my brother. Just stop, you know? I've even told him, like, stop doing this perfection paralysis nonsense. Draw it. Get it done. Yeah, but it's got to be right. I'm like, it'll never be right. It's perfect in your head, and you won't allow it to just exist. Just shut up and make it, and then move on to the next one. But decades later, he's 1,000 times the artist I am, and he hasn't made shit. So also, nobody look at this very adult page I'm working on right here. This is for grown-ups. All the kids need to go to bed. Yeah, it was a tricky angle to try and pull off, but I mean, trying to have a little moment of excitement right here at the end before he does something unspeakable to her. Oh, right. See, this is where he took off the other dick and he's flinging it away. I gotta have the other guy that's there. He's like ducking out of the way. He's like, shit. Thanks, Steven. Oh shit.
Had 20 years, but she turned to her mother, saying, "Mother, I know that you'll grieve, but I've given my soul to St. John the Gambler. Tomorrow comes time to leave, for the hills cannot hold back my sorrow forever. Hit me in right deep round the door of the only salvation that's mine for the asking. So mother, think on thee no more." And winter held high round the mountain's breast, the cold of 1,000 snows lay heaped upon.
You're probably talking about this head connecting to this body on the two panels there, Wiley.
Again, the light is within fancy, and she and the fire of her longing would keep waiting cold, and her dress was a sight to see. The road was long beneath her feet. She followed her frozen breath.
Oh. Well, that makes two tangents I gotta fart around with. It's a good call, though.
Right down from the mountain and dance with her mother's tears to a funeral home, a calico neath the cross between years. To a funeral home, a calico we could draw clean.
Addie, what's up? Yeah, I didn't do one yesterday. For any of you long-timers out there, hell might have frozen over. Y'all remember Jessica? She might have some free time in her schedule to actually do a live stream with me sometime here the next week or two. Yeah, that's a chick getting blown away. Excuse me. Addie, sounds like you started getting some ideas and getting concepts and let's see, designs, wrote a script. Hey, you know what? There you go. I mean, were you inspired? You were just feeling it, getting the vibe and the ideas just start flowing. I mean, I like it when that shit happens. The ideas just start coming right at you and you're like, I gotta write this down, I'm gonna do this. That's awesome, Addie. Yeah, I've been there several times where you just like you get ideas, the ideas start flowing, they just start coming to you, and you keep building on it and building on it, and eventually you're like, I got this whole concept. This is kind of fun. I was trying to come up with cover ideas for this stupid book of mine. But 34 pages. And I think I've basically got everything drawn. Yeah, it's the guy's severed dick. That's the part that's interesting, but I don't think I can put that on the cover. I think I might do some kind of gag where it's like there's an awesome shot of the characters, but then there's going to be like a subtitle towards the bottom. It's to be like, what is the mystery of the jar, or what's in the jar, or something like that. Well, these are the inks of Chuck Gibson. He's a guy that used to work for Image Comics. He got hired by Jim Lee and worked for Wildstorm back in the mid-90s, and he's inking a whole bunch of pages in my book here. He does all digital now. Let's see. There's another big splash page right here.
With over 20 years of experience in roofing, siding, and home remodeling, trust Three Brothers to ensure your home is in top shape.
Shut up. We got the characters Kill Snap and Bo Bitch, and it's just going to be an acronym, but it might be just robot, but an acronym with like dots in between each letter. Yeah, just robot. I don't know what the acronym, like the R and the O, the B, like what they're going to stand for. I could come up. The point is to be stupid. Like, it's not serious. Like, this guy's name is Kill Snap. Like, but it's supposed to be like a play on 90s nonsense. And then this girl, she's got a bow and arrow, and she's a girl, so she's Bo Bitch. And then, so Robot. And believe me, Robot doesn't last long. Because I didn't want to draw him a lot. Plus, I needed to get through the story, so... Our Cable stand-in character. I haven't actually looked at this page in a long time. I'm kind of just taking it all in again. Yeah, Chuck kicks ass. Those are the only 3 pages I've got like completed from him that are printed out. He's got several pages in varying degrees of completion. He was even sending me some today. Let's see. I could show some of it here. Excuse my shit. Let's see. Like there's a face on a panel that he's inking. He was working on that one today. That's looking pretty awesome. There's the monster's severed dick flying through the air. He didn't waste any time getting that meaty monster going. I thought that was actually really funny. Let's see. Me, him, and this other guy are always chatting back and forth throughout the day, so there's a lot of shit in here. I need to... No. Chuck. Something from our last book. I've shown that one off already a couple of times, but anyway. Well, anyway, a little bit late, so I might need to get going. I gotta, as usual, do a couple of things before I get to bed and get back to the magic that is my day job tomorrow. Well, anyway, I'm gonna, I gotta bounce. So, it's been fun, guys. Tomorrow's Wednesday, so I'll have my kids. I probably won't be live streaming tomorrow when I got my kids over. We'll see. But, alright, guys. I'll catch y'all on the next one.